another episode of Millionaires Are Made, where we believe you can be a millionaire in all 6 aspects of health. Today's episode is on your financial health. We're going to be focusing on investing. So if you have questions on investing, today's the day. We also do episodes on physical health, mental health, social health, spiritual health, and your intellectual health. So stay tuned or go to www.millionairesaremade.com to see all of our episodes. We do so every week, every couple of weeks, we do a different episode on a different aspect. And so you can grow and learn and take in knowledge and become a millionaire in that aspect. Millionaires Are Made is a show built on the fundamental belief that every person you meet knows something that you don't, and that there's something to be learned from everyone in this big, wide, beautiful world. In the spirit of authenticity, oh man, we film all around the world and there's sometimes sirens. It's real. But we keep this as authentic as possible. So I don't want my bias into our guests. I don't want to collect people that agree with everything I say. So it's just regurgitation. So I don't even know who our guests are until about 15 to 20 minutes before the show. And I don't know what tip they're giving until we just refresh before the show. So this is all real and authentic from them. It's their tip on investing in financial health. And it's going to be great. We got 3 awesome guests. I have a feeling we're going to run over our allotted time because they got some really big things to say. So it's going to be a great show. I'm excited. Audience members, please comment and ask questions. We answer them live. Don't forget. So if you ask, we will answer. So put them on the spot, grill them, especially when it comes to investing. We will actually might as well say now, do your own research. This is not financial advice for anything on this show. If you need any guests for your podcast, if you're a host at all, we got 4 awesome guests right here. You can contact them. We'll have all their contact info in the comments as we go. You can contact them straight up. No problem at all. We need more guests. If you're also interested in being a guest, if you've never done a podcast, we accept anyone and everyone because we believe you got something to share. Just feel free to sign up, www.millionairesaremade.com. We need guests for anything and everything, and I guarantee there's something that you know that we will have a topic on. Speaking of topics, we love learning new topics, so if there's anything you're struggling in life right now, anything that you're curious of learning about, let us know. We'll throw an entire show on it. We'll go find some experts on it, and hopefully we'll teach you some things about that topic. Not only do we love doing this show where we give free information to everyone and we try to build the world and build better communities and share all of our tips, but if you're interested in doing one-on-one coaching, I do offer free coaching one-on-one. So if you're interested in anything I have said or anything they have said, you can go contact them. But free coaching offer is available. Link is being dropped right now as well. And finally, if you love what we do, please subscribe, like, share, send stars, whatever the hell medium you're on. We need that to keep going. So I'd love for all that. Please. And time for our sponsors. So first sponsor here is going to be an awesome little company called InstaFarm. This is a fully automated microgreen grow garden in your house. It takes up like 6 inches by 2 feet. You get fresh microgreens all day, every day. They're organic. You literally only add water once a week. It is so amazing. 100% automated. Very easy to do. Go check them out. Links being dropped right now. And another sponsor we have is the one and only Karmaceuticals, one of the greatest, oldest cannabis grow stores in Denver, Colorado. We're dropping a link right now for a 1 penny joint. So if you're in Denver or you plan on going, sign up to get that right now. And you will be able to grab that joint from one of the oldest companies. They have 1 cannabis cups. They have 1 THC cups, all sorts of fun stuff. And our final sponsor here is going to be Gunther's Adventures. This is a crazy cool company. They specialize in Toyota specifically off-roading. It's going to be, if you are an off-roader, go follow Gunther's Adventures. Their link's being dropped right now. They share all their adventures. They share all their mods on how to make your car even better and stronger and more off-roady. But go follow them. Check them out. Gunther's Adventures, pretty awesome little company. Check them out. And that's all we've got for my little spiel. So now it's time for a little investing tip. This tip I'm about to share with you is a regurgitated tip from a man named Dan. And when I saw him speak live for the first time, it was like eye-opening. I've been investing forever. I know the stock market well. I use a lot of money in the stock market, yada, yada. But when Dan got on stage and was like, we're going to break investing down, this is how simple it is. It blew my fucking mind. So when you want to invest, his tip is essentially keep it simple. Ready? If you believe that a company will be here in 10 years and you use it, invest in it. So his advice is take 10 companies that you think will be here in 10 years and will be bigger and put your money in and out. And it's even bigger bonus if you use that company. So let's take, for example, this right here. We're live on what? YouTube, Facebook. Let's say YouTube. Is YouTube going to be bigger and better? And is it going to be here in 10 years? And do I use it? Yeah, put money in it. Because now you, as a stockholder, you're going to be getting a little piece of that by dividends or by the growth of the stock. By you using it, you're going to be using that company, helping that company grow. And if it's going to be here in 10 years, then that means it's going to grow and be bigger and bigger. And that's how simple it is. I think he suggested do 8 stocks and 2 cryptocurrencies since crypto's so big now and it's not going anywhere. And that's how simple it is. Do you use it? Will it be here in 10 years? Start putting $5 a month in it. Start putting $10 a month in it. Make it auto invest straight from your bank account so you don't even know it's gone. And sooner or later, you'll have a nice little portfolio of companies you think are growing. Hopefully that's awesome and great for you, but we've got smarter people coming up next. Our first guest here is going to be Gemma. Hey, Gemma, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Austin? You all right?
Sorry about that. I didn't tell you I was going to ask you that question. Disregard. Gemma, who the hell are you?
I am Gemma. I am from Scotland. I am a mindset coach and I live in Edinburgh with my family.
Very cool. That's all you want to tell us about who you are?
Well, I could elaborate. Yeah, sure. So I run my own business. I work with heart-centered, impact-driven female entrepreneurs who are aspiring to make their first 6 figures. So women who are typically have an established business, but are kind of feeling like they're holding themselves back somehow. They just can't quite put their finger on it. But they're aware that they have self-sabotaging tendencies. And it's my job to uncover what that is, what's holding them back, and to unstuck them so that they can actually progress in their business.
That is awesome. Very cool. Okay, well, you know what, Jim? I've got a little question for you. If I wanted to improve my financial health with investing, what tiny piece of advice would you give me?
I would have to say, clean up your money mindset. So clean up your thinking. Clean up your thinking to change how you feel about money, to then take inspired action. So that's my jam, right? Is like you create what you think. So if we are going to consciously create more wealth, more money, more success in our lives, we have to pay attention to our thoughts. So that would be my tip. Clean up your money mindset.
Clean up your money mindset. Okay. Well, hey, Gemma, where on your life journey did you learn this tip?
Well, I realized about a few years ago that I live in lack. I used to just live in lack and scarcity. And I had no idea that just how much I was influenced by all the society conditioning, those sort of things that I've been brought up with, like money doesn't grow on trees and you don't always get what you want. Those infamous little phrases that stick with you. And that's how the other half live, right? That's not for you. That's for the other half. And money is evil. And it was just all of this. And you have to work really hard. You have to work really hard to make money. So I had all of these limiting beliefs around making money and improving my wealth. And I had no idea that they existed. All I did was hustle and work harder to try and make more money.
Interesting. Awesome. Well, hey, that's an awesome little tip. Mindset is huge, and it takes place in investing. So if you're interested in changing your investing mindset, go hit up Gemma. We just posted all her links. Gemma, we're going to move on to our next guest here. Put you backstage. Next up, we've got Steve. Steve, who are you?
How you doing, Austin? My name is Steve.
Good. But I'm the one asking the question.
I know. My name is Steve Seligat, And at the moment, I'm a income investing coach, which simply means I show people how little actual spending money they're making from their portfolios and teach them how to transition into a much higher income environment. I used to be a professional investment manager for other people's money for the last 40 years or more. Started in 1979 doing that and sold my 110 million business last May, at which point I also published a book called Retirement Money Secrets, which looks like this.
That's
And
awesome. Get that book.
I
Get that book. We'll share a link to it.
and I did that, and I started this coaching business, and it's keeping me busy, busier than my wife thought I would be in retirement.
All right. So let me get this. You ran a big portfolio for 40 years. Now you're retired and you're coaching people on how to use their portfolios better for spending income. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, but it wasn't just one portfolio. I managed for about 150 different families,
Okay.
and every portfolio was different because it was geared to that individual's needs and age and financial condition and so on. So they were all different portfolios.
And so now you're coaching. Is that stuff you taught then, or is that stuff you learned then and you're kind of changing how you teach now?
Well, I'm showing them how to do what I do. I still run my own portfolios, and I generate significant income with it, and I show them how to do that, how to develop the two different streams of income from their portfolios, and
Let me ask you this real quick for our listeners. So if you're interested, Steve, what do you usually have for like a minimum in your portfolio, or how cost wise?
I don't know. My coaching is for anybody who's even getting started. I mean, we can just do questions and answers about what is investing. What's the difference between a stock and a bond? You'd be surprised how many people don't know. What is financial risk versus market risk? One's real, you can lose money. The other is just, what the price is today versus tomorrow. So there's so much you can learn. I've coached people in their 30s. I haven't met anybody yet younger than that. Right up into their 70s in retirement, trying them to get more from their portfolios than they are.
Okay, so if you're investing in stocks, you're investing in bonds, maybe even investing in crypto, contact Steve. All his info just got dropped in the links. Go say, hi, Steve. If I had to improve my financial health with investing, what simple tip would you give me?
What I learned earliest on when I started investing was start to focus on the income produced by your portfolio.
Okay. Income produced by a portfolio. Okay.
My goal, I was commuting from North Jersey in the United States, for those who were elsewhere, to New York City. And I was getting paid what I thought was a pretty meager wage. It was less than my wife was getting as a paralegal in New Jersey. And I was in this big firm and I was getting nothing. So I made it my goal to have my portfolio to produce more than I was making in New York so that I could leave there and start doing something on my own. And cool. And that's what I did.
I think a lot of people could use that knowledge. I think that's actually a lot of people's goals.
Yeah. Get that income.
We touched on this a little bit. We can do a brief more though, Steve. Where in your life journey did you learn all this?
Young.
Say you're 40 years.
Young. I when I was 25, I was fortunate enough. I had chosen my parents well, and at 25, I got the remainder of money I'd put away as a kid and money that they didn't need to send me to an Ivy League school, and it was mine. And my objective was not to lose it and to start learning about it. So I did. I studied the charts. I saw the volatility of all these big name blue chip firms. I noticed they were all paying me dividends. And I decided that if I watched this chart of a stock, I could buy it here, sell it there, do it again. And some cases you could do it 10 or 15 times a year. making, who knows, 6 to 10% in profits several times a year on companies like you had mentioned before, like IBM. I mean, it's still here. It was there 40 years ago too.
Yeah, that's
So you
exactly
do
right.
it. I'm not a buy and holder. I don't hold on and watch the market value grow. I believe in this thing called working capital. It's how much you've got invested in different units. It's like properties or apartment houses. You've got 100 apartment houses paying you rent every month, or you got 3. I like to have the 100 paying me rent every month, that type of thing. So I did that, and I started generating more and more income, growing that income every year, still growing my income now. So
Awesome. I love it. Thanks so much, Steve. We're going to move on to our next guest. FYI, Bob Fox from Canada says hi to you.
oh yeah, Bob.
All right. I'm going to move on to Sara. Sara, who are you?
Hey, Austin. So my name is Sara Jones. I am a full-time RVer traveling the United States with my husband. And doing so, I am also a serial entrepreneur. I have several businesses that we run while on the road. But my baby is I am a financial coach helping people increase their financial literacy, and we focus on the 6 pillars of finance, which is creating, saving, spending, managing or organizing, giving, and investing. So it's about
Love it.
increasing financial literacy in all those areas.
I love 6 pillars of anything. It's a great way to go.
Right.
All right, Sara, if I wanted to improve my financial health with investing, what tiny piece of advice would you give me?
Don't cheat your future by not contributing now or by pulling out prematurely.
I heard pull out prematurely. We'll focus on the other one. Go ahead and elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep this G-rated for here, but I think that people like myself are scared to invest. We hear and follow a lot of the media out there. It's like, oh, the market's down, or I don't know, I don't feel comfortable investing. I don't want to lose money. And the truth is you are cheating your future. You're robbing your future by not contributing now. I believe the best way that you can grow your net worth, the best way that you have, more opportunities to be able to retire comfortably are to learn now and invest in that future. And so it doesn't have to be a lot, but it's taking these little steps right now to make it happen. And I also want to hit on the other point of, we'll just say withdrawing.
We're doing that later. This is just your tip. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Right,
But we only have a minute and a half.
Withdrawing those funds early. I've worked with a lot of people that have pulled out money from their retirement accounts to pay off debt and everything. And, I think it feels, dare I say, kind of like a quick fix, and they don't take into consideration the true impact that they're having on their future by doing that. And oftentimes there are other ways to take care of your situation now without depriving your future self of, some comfort and the finances then. So.
Awesome. All right. We've got one more minute. Tell us where in your life journey you learned this piece of advice.
This has been kind of a culmination of a lot of years of hard work, a lot of years of frustration. I lived in scarcity mode where I was literally terrified to spend money, cried every time we spent money. And I always said I would do some shady shit to avoid pulling money out of my savings account. And people look at me and I'm like, I'm not kidding. I got really, really great and creative with creating new money, but I wasn't ever investing in my financial literacy. I wasn't investing in our retirements. I wasn't investing in my future because I was so afraid to spend money. And my husband and I have been debt-free twice, and we actually paid off. I need to update my numbers because I actually took the time to look. We paid off over $154,000 worth of debt over 12 years.
Nice.
And that was over 2 different time frames. So there was one, $60,000 and then $54,000, right? So I've been debt free twice. And during that time, I learned that I wanted to help other people increase their financial literacy is when I really started looking at investing and looking at my own life and like, why have I been so afraid to invest? It's because I didn't have the information. I didn't feel comfortable with the knowledge that I had to take those steps to move forward. And it's through working with other coaches and, through my own journey that I was like, listen, I need to learn, no longer can I keep my head in the sand here. It's time to, get the information that I need to make really confident decisions.
Awesome. I love it. That's great. All right, Sara, we're going to bring everyone else out and start doing some real talk, I guess. All right, Gemma, can you real quickly refresh what your tip was?
Clean up your money mindset. Clean up your thinking.
All right, Steve, what are your thoughts on that tip?
I think it's important to, a lot of people in the stock market are always worried, oh my God, like yesterday, the market fell 50 points or something on the S&P, and it's maybe started off that way a little bit. They get all upset and irritated, and they're just not prepared for it. They don't understand that the market has, uncertainty is the only certainty you have in the stock market. It's always going to go up and down. And the key element is to wrap your mind around that so you're prepared for either direction of the market. And that's a mindset that will make you a lot of money in the investment medium.
I like it. Sara, what are your thoughts on Gemma's tip?
Yeah, I love it because I believe that unless you get your mindset right and you really work on your belief system, it doesn't matter how much knowledge, how many coaches, how many books you read, what it is that you do, you're not going to retain that knowledge and you're not going to use it to the best benefit to you if you don't have your mindset and your belief system in, healed and in a place where you can really take in that information, right? And so mindset, I talk about it all the time. I love it. Great tip.
Yeah, I love that too. I mean, mindset is virtually just about everything. Everything everywhere is going to be mindset. So, Gemma, that's a great tip. I mean, Sara talked about it a little bit too. It's just the scarcity mindset and how everyone thinks that there's not enough this or that. So that's huge. And I would say that's a good reason to get a coach. Coaches, mindset coaches especially, but any coach that's able to be accountable every week, you can talk to them and make sure you're thinking correctly, doing correctly. It's huge. Coaches are definitely what changed my life a little bit. Hey, Steve, what was your tip? Can you quickly refresh us?
Sure. My tip was focus on the income that your investments are providing to you, spendable income, rather than the market value, either the growth and the fall of the market value, and you'll go a lot further and you'll find yourself in a better position at or near retirement to, have replaced the income from your job if you do focus on income from the very beginning.
And by that, do you mean specifically dividends?
Dividends, distributions, capital gains. They're basically two streams of income that you can, if you don't have there can be a third one if you have a rich uncle, but generally speaking, you have dividends or distributions if you use closed-end funds, and the capital gains you can make by taking profits. And if you have a properly qualified and diverse portfolio, you can you can take every profit that comes along and add it to that distribution theme and just jump right back into similar securities at the same time. You have to create a universe of securities that you trust, that you vetted for quality, diversification, etc. And then you have that capability to do that.
I like it. Yeah. That's huge. If you could replace your income with the stock market, what a great life you could have.
You can.
We do have a question from the audience. I guess it's a comment. We got stock market is an investment in knowledge that grows with age. It's on your screen right now too. Thoughts on that? Let's start with you, Sara.
I'm going to be honest. Some of this feels a little bit like foreign language to me, And I don't think I'm the only one, right? Because I'm kind of like in the beginner with really investing my money. And so I think it's a great tip for those that maybe are a little bit more advanced and can really understand what it all means.
I agree with that. It's
and-
very
and
niche.
so-
It's stock market. And there's many other ways to invest. And obviously,
Yeah.
Steve is a guru when it comes to the stock market. But
Right.
If 50 years of experience makes you a guru, and then I've got it. Yeah.
you're almost there. You need 51 years. One more year,
One
Steve.
more
You're
year.
almost
Okay. I hope I make it.
I hope I make it. Oh, man. Gemma, do you have any thoughts on the comment from the audience?
Yeah, I'm with Sarah on this. Like, I am not a stock market expert at all. I think it has to be over to Steve to reply to this one, I'm afraid.
Okay.
I specifically chose you guys for that because we already know Steve's answer is going to be a yes. But I mean, stock market is an investment in knowledge. It grows with age. I would almost say that's going to be any skill, anything that you put in the time and effort. Knowledge, it grows with age. But Steve, go ahead and respond. I know
whatever you invest in, from, if you call it an investment, metals or futures, you have to have a knowledge of what's going on. If you can't understand it, you don't invest in it. I've never bought any Bitcoin, for example, because I not for the life of me do I. I'm too old to understand that. That's for young people.
Not too old.
Yeah, but the stock market isn't the only place you want to be. And depending on your age and the amount of assets you have to invest, you may or may not want to be in the stock market as the first thing you do. The bond market, i.e. income-focused securities, are safer just by their nature. So you might want to start there and then slowly get into the stock market. Then when you're in your middle ages from, 35 through 50, and you've amassed some money, I mean, then you can afford to have a larger amount in the stock market. And then it changes again when you get to be an old man like me. You don't want to have that much in the riskier type of investment. So I agree that there's an awful lot of knowledge, and it builds up a lot by experience. We've all taken losses. We've all taken our lumps. Most often you take losses if you haven't vetted the quality properly, or if you buy and hold. Eventually, in most securities, you're going to get burned a little bit. You have to learn how to take profits intelligently. But yeah, I think the stock market is a wonderful place to get that initial bump in your finances, in your net worth, that then you can use that to produce income for your future.
Awesome. I'm going to touch on that a little, Steve. So Steve's talking specifically on stock market. Sarah and Gemma already said they're not experts in that, but we're talking about investing. So this can be virtually anywhere. I mean, you can invest in your mind, your thoughts. You can have Gemma with your mindset. You can invest in businesses. You can invest in real estate. There's thousands of ways, but the bottom line, I guess, is know before you throw your money in it, or have someone that knows. So if you do choose a stock market, for instance, Steve would be a great person. Give him some money, get some education. The thing about paying people and coaches and all this, whatever, is you're not paying Steve just to yap at you. You're paying for his 50 fucking years of him learning the ins and outs of the industry. So if you're paying Gemma to go be your mindset, you're paying for all her knowledge, educate her experiences. And so coaching is almost the fastest way to really learn anything. You can read a book, which is awesome because it's also a bunch of their knowledge put in there. But having someone live and they're like, oh, you're about to go do that, dude. I did that like 3 times. It was fucking stupid. Don't do that. I literally actually just like an hour ago had someone talking about this land investment in Mexico and how I saw a post and they were like, everyone that bought lots just made an extra 8,000. They went up like 12% in the last month. And I'm like, how did you value that? They're like, oh, well, as we build more amenities, we're raising the cost of the lots. I'm like, so this is an artificial valuation. They're like, yeah. I was like, whoever's investing in this, fucking pull out. This is the dumbest shit ever. Like, this piece of land is worth 5,000, but when I put a road next to it, I'm going to start selling it for 10,000. And it's all the same company developing it, just choosing these arbitrary valuations. It's insane. But bottom line, all right, we got to wrap this up a little bit. Investing, highly important. God damn, our fucking audience members. I live in the islands. I have a really good view, and one of our audience members gets really pissed off when he doesn't get my view. Anyways, the bottom line is you have to know, and if you don't know, then pay someone to know. I mean, you can spend all day and do the Goodwill hunting, read in a library. Sure, you can do that. That's totally okay. Or you can go give Steve $500 and learn 50 years of stock market. in an hour. I don't know what he charges. Maybe it's $15. Who knows? But you can give Steve some money. You can give Gemma, Sara. You can hire these people. Actually, just go follow them on Facebook and Insta, because I bet you'll get a lot of fucking free info first, and see if they're a good match. But hiring these people, learning from them, and they'll share whatever they got, and it's gonna be a lot faster. But the bottom line is definitely know what the fuck is happening before you put your money into it. Don't throw money at a stock unless you know how it works, how you're going to get paid. And then the ROI. I mean, you can throw money at a stock and it can make 1% per year. And maybe you think that's awesome. I think it's trash because that's lower than the rate of inflation. So I would say, you're actually losing money. And so it's all going to be how you want to do it. I know some like family offices, big time money, they just don't want to lose money. So they look for 1%, 2%, super safe investments. And so I guess the bottom line is you're going to have to figure out what you want to do. But I hope you learn something on this. And definitely go follow everyone. But guys, we have one last thing we got to do. And I knew we were going to run over. As soon as I knew there were stock questions for Steve, I knew we were taking too long. All right, guys, we got like 1 minute to think of a daily challenge. Our daily challenge must take less than 5 minutes, cost $0, and be available to anyone in the world from Merida, Mexico, all the way to Fiji. Any thoughts on that?
I'll share my tip and thought is go follow one new person and start to really learn from them. I think when you start to follow too many people, it gets a little bit cluttered. So pick one person and start following them and really start listening and learning from them. And then as you increase that knowledge, then you can move on to somebody new. But that's my tip, is go follow one person and start learning from them.
I like it. I would actually add on to that. I would say we do one new person in a different type of investing every day. So 7 days, 7 people. You will be so fucking surprised if you click them as favorites, how your Facebook feed is going to change from, I don't know your feed, but change from the drama and people whining. And as soon as you choose 7, experts guru, here's 3 of them right here. Choose these 3, go hit follow and hit favorite, and your feed in 1 week is going to be like, holy shit. You're going to learn all about investing. You're going to learn about tips and that, and it's going to be, very, very much happier time. So I like that tip. Steve, Gemma, any thoughts on you for our daily challenge?
Yeah, I have one. I suggest that any of you who goes to start investing and you hire a professional to actually do that for you and make selections of securities, ask them to see what's in their portfolio, their own personal portfolio first.
Fucking smart.
And if they don't own what they're suggesting to you, find somebody else.
I love that. I mean, I'm going to expand on that too, Steve. Great fucking point. But anyone you hire, I mean, they should have their results. Especially Gemma in the coaching business. It's so funny. I see someone post, they're like, I need a social media manager. And I go and see 50 people comment, and I click their profiles, and they have like 1,500 followers. I'm like, they have less followers than you. Who are these people that are gurus in social media that have less followers than you? Their engagement's worse. What, you're going to pay someone to go down? It's wild. But Steve, that's a great point. Yeah, ask what's in their fucking portfolio. Show your returns. Are you actually making 20% a year, or are you just telling people you're making 20% a year? Gemma, any thoughts on a daily tip?
Yeah, get on the frequency of freedom, because let's face it, for many of us, money equals freedom, right? So if we want to be on the frequency of wealth and money, then get on the frequency of freedom. And anyone can do that, right? You can look around you and tap into where you can find freedom in your life. I get to choose what clothes I put on. I get to choose what I want to eat for lunch, for dinner. So get into the frequency of feeling freedom to attract more money into your life.
I love it. All right. Well, this is a predicament. Less than 5 minutes, $0 every day. So, Steve, your point is great. I don't know if we can do that every day. Gemma, how do you think we should accomplish that on a daily challenge?
A daily challenge, you just literally lean in to wherever you can find freedom in your life. I've got freedom to go where I want, to work with who I want, to charge what I want. Wherever you can make a choice and find freedom, you tap into that energy. And do thought downloads. Nobody does this, but you can easily daily do a thought download, just a brain dump to clean up your thinking so that you can make sure that you are consciously creating better feeling thoughts on purpose. not just being on the hamster wheel of living on default.
Repeat that.
So you can do a thought download, just a brain dump, so that you can clean up your thinking, because we want to be consciously creating thoughts that serve us better rather than just living on this like hamster wheel of just negative thinking. The subconscious brain is literally going to it's going to give you negative thoughts all the time. That's just how it's wired and designed. So we have to actually pay attention to what we're thinking to create better thoughts.
All right, so here's what I've got. I'm gonna take your idea, Sarah. I like that. I'm gonna say that our challenge is to find a new form of investing and follow an expert in that type of investing. So if you don't know about stocks or bonds or dividends or living off that right now, go follow Steve. Simple. Today's done. If you need your mindset, go follow Gemma. If you want to learn how to live off the grid and go invest and live in a RV, is it an RV, right, Sarah?
Yeah, fifth wheel. Yeah.
Fifth wheel. Okay, go follow her. That's an easy day one. Then tomorrow, look at new ones. If you want to follow me, I'm gonna be doing creative ones. I'm gonna do Pace Morby on creative finance. I'm gonna do Dan Fleshman on simple investing. Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. So I'll help share some of those too. So our goal is find one person, an expert in a new type of investment, so you can start learning that. Whether if you don't know about stocks or you don't know about creative finance for real estate or you don't know how to invest in businesses, let's find someone that does. It'll take you 30 seconds to research interesting ways to invest, alternative investing. And then for you, Gemma, we're going to also do a thought download on money mindset. Just your thoughts on money, I guess. And I'm going to be posting on social, but you can write it down in a journal as well. And then
what comes up for you when you think about money, basically? Just be really honest about what thoughts come up in your head when you think about money. Like it's really hard to come by, or it's never there for me, or whatever it is. It'll all be negative crap that comes up. It's normal. It's natural.
And I just got and then for you, Steve, we're going to pick a new stock every day. Every day, go research a stock. You don't have to invest. You don't have to buy it. I just want you to pick it. Go look at what Facebook's done over the last year. Go look at what Google's done. You pick a stock and watch it. Just stare at a chart for 20 seconds. That's all you need to start learning a little bit into the stocks. Does that sound good, Steve?
It's okay. Yes, it does. I'd like to see you focus more on the income production of the types of stocks you invest in. If you invest in ones that at least pay dividends, I think that's where you should start.
Okay. We'll start with the dividend stock then. That's a good point. Right. Good point. Just start researching the dividend stock, see how much it's paid over the last couple of years, see since COVID, what it's done, a little interest in there.
Thought. Sure.
Yeah. The last 4 years, see what the dividend's paying and see how much it is. Awesome. All right, guys, we are way over. I knew we would be. I could tell as soon as I met you all. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm going to put you all backstage and wrap this show up, and then we will move on. Whew. Another great one. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Thanks for watching Millionaires Are Made. Again, huge shout outs to InstaFarm, Pharmaceuticals, and Gunther's Adventures, our sponsors. Please like, share, love, all that good stuff. A lot of information. Hopefully you guys learned a lot about investing. Go follow all of our guests because that was super insightful. And our daily challenge, join us. Let's do it. Let's grow a community and let's improve our financial health with investing over the next week and hopefully the rest of your life. Don't forget,